Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! And very remastered today. This is another 2001 match from Grrrr, the OSL champion, possibly the best foreigner player ever to play Brood War. Alright, so bottom side of Lost Temple, the game I edition, it's going to be our blue Protoss, it's going to be Grrrr, the Canadian. And at the top side of player, I don't know, it's going to be a Power from Joy Pop. Apparently. So, let's go ahead and search Wikipedia to see. Google wants me to search for a liquor store when I start out with LIQ, huh? Alright. So, let's see here. Brood War. It's a PvT here. Why is this not letting me... Oh, son of a gun. Alright, well, we're going to search for this guy anyway. The problem is, if we search for power, Brood War, it's going to say power overwhelming. It's a cheat. Or power bond, or energy. Brood War player? Oh, brings up my own videos. Yeah, see, this is the problem here. Anyway, whatever. This dude's name is Power. I don't know if he is a Korean or if he's a fellow foreigner, just like Grrrr is here, but it's incredible to see games from 2001, right? Or maybe even earlier. 2001 is when the replay feature came out, so this is basically the earliest we can get by replay casting. Anyway, so weird strats, weird maps, but basically the same game. So it's fun to see how far the game has come, right? So gateway first here, and then an assimilator. Then barracks on the high ground. Probably into factory, but you never know. You never know with these weird old games. Probe scouting here on Lost Temple, and the reason there are command centers at the top right and bottom left is because the observer slots for games that are being played did not get introduced until maybe a couple years after the replay feature was introduced. All right, man. So gateway, cyber core, and supply depot, hard wall here. But the probe's already inside the house, but it's trapped. They're gonna make a marine? Yeah, making a marine to kill the probe. All right, man. Some things do never change. Bum, 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 bum. Excellent. So this is all pretty good. Pretty standard stuff, right? I don't see anything to complain about here. Maybe the timings they took their buildings are wonky. Grrrr is floating about 200 minerals here, so whether he's going to go for an expansion after this, which would be pretty smart, or maybe just throw that money at Singularity Charge. He's getting a Dragoon, which is cool. And now we can afford Singularity Charge. 175, 190 there, and production tab says nothing. So yeah, I mean, these guys are not the crispest or tightest players back then. The game was not optimized enough to the point for that to be the case. People didn't have enough hours of StarCraft under their belt to do things that maybe you can probably do today. Like, could you today go back in time and beat Grrrr? Maybe. Maybe you could, with all the experience you have versus all the experience he has and the game knowledge that you have and things that have been discovered that he doesn't know about that, but you do, maybe, right? So factory coming in here from Power. Joy Pop. Is Joy Pop anything to do with StarCraft? Because Power's a terrible name to Google if you're looking for the connection there. Maybe that's a clan or something I can search, as long as we're just kind of hanging out. Got him. So SCV dies, probe died, factory, machine shop on the way. Oh, so Joy Pop looks, it is a clan. Must find link to clan. Player Zodiac is in there. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, there's just a ton. There's a few players as part of this Joy Pop setup. Whatever. Somebody let me know in the comments. This is also a Patreon cast. For those of you who support me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month. Get to see this month for anybody else. Dragoons versus Marines. Not a bad battle, 1v1 here for the Dragoons. So yeah, Marine's gonna die, trying to bring the wounded Dragoon back, but not working out. Siege tank. Behind the wall. That's enough to send these guys home. Brutal. Brutal and tragic for those poor Dragoons. They're going to bust through this wall. They're going to murder everything. Second gateway up. And yeah, just kind of, both players kind of floating a bit. But their workers are all going to work for the most part. And so I don't think this is a broken replay. It just seems like we're just not spending money on the dot like we see players do today. And that's just the fact that this is over 20 years old now. This is over 21 years old now, right? 2022 is when this is being cast and posted. And my gosh, insane. So yeah, thanks for supporting me at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $1 a month. You get to see this a month for anybody else. So if you're watching this the week of March of the 20th, thank you so much for supporting me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm here 5 times a week with Brood War content. Finally expanding in about 6 minutes here. Power built his command center inside the main base. He's going to float it over, which is fine. Got siege mode for his tanks. He feels safe enough to do that now. And doing the Maynard transfer down here to the natural base. This existed for sure in 2001, because that's when I was taught the strategy. It was way back then when I was a freshman in college. I'm an old person. That's for sure. Observatory there. Excellent. So we're going to get observers in case spider mines are being researched here, which they're not. We're just kind of making siege tanks for now, which seems fine, honestly. Now, traditionally, what we would say for the Terran players, make some vultures, send them around, try to harass a bit. You'll notice there's not a wall here. You run like 6 vultures up, beeline them for the probe line. Sure, your vulture's going to take some hits from Dragoons and stuff, but they're going to kill a lot of probes. He's really oversaturated here, too, with 29 probes on one base. Really needs to expand, is what we need to see here from Grrrr. And again, we talk about this every PvT. You got to outexpand the Terran. You got to outexpand them because they're going to show up with units that will kill yours in a cost-efficient way. And maybe that wasn't as much of a concept back in 2001, right? Maybe we didn't see players trying to outexpand and outzerg the Terran. Maybe they just feared so much pushes. Expanding was maybe late. It's very difficult. Look at this 3rd CC on the way here from Power, too. Disgusting. So good. We're going for spider mines and ion thrusters at the same time. Double machine chop, researching action, go. Observer sees everything happening here, sees more SCVs heading on out to the natural base. It is 41 SCVs to only 30 probes. 30 probes is so much for one base. Expand, Grrrr. Grrrr. You have so much money. Do it. You're sitting here on 900 minerals. There, finally. Throwing down the Nexus. This is a weird little back area, isn't it? Why does that... Wait. This spawn location has a weird little back area, and the 12 o'clock doesn't. What the heck version of Lost Temple is this? Does this have a weird... Yeah, this kind of has a weird back area, too. Strange. Dragoon push, though! Again, trading Dragoons for tanks is not bad, but call that high ground position. It makes it so hard. You're missing with your shots sometimes, and the repair is not enough. Not enough to save that tank, but oh, these 2 tanks versus 3 Dragoons. But these guys are really injured. 2 tanks get murderized, and the 3rd one is not enough. 5 kills on that tank. Woo-wee. So, okay, knocks the tank count down to 2. Excellent. Did you lose some Dragoons? Yes. Is your economy kind of in shambles because you only have 1 base of economy? Yes. Oh, but double expanding over on the left side here, too. Love that. Like it a lot. Just expanding in this left side spawn location. Maybe take this natural as well. I don't know. Okay, good. So it's late, right? Your attempt to get your 2nd and 3rd base is way after the 2nd base of the Terran is already done, but we'll see how Grrrr handles this. Again, Grrrr won an OSL. Like, he won a premier StarCraft tournament. Even back then, Koreans were dominating everybody in 2001, so the fact that he pulled that off is awesome. Vultures cruising down, and they're like, we figured you'd try to expand down this way. Did you escort your probe with anything? No. For shame. Probe down. Had to cancel one of these pylons, or maybe that was a gateway that was coming up. Either way, this pylon's in trouble. And SCV's transferring over to a very weirdly located command center. 3rd base location. I mean, this works. We see this sometimes from Terran players who are very afraid of enemy Dragoons showing up and taking down the command center. It is more protected up here from ground assault. Can you not fit a command center in here? Maybe that's also part of the problem with this map. I don't know. It kind of looks like maybe there's not enough room to throw down a CC without it being too close to the minerals, right? Anyway, Zealots are in here trying to attack this 3rd, but there's a bunch of vultures, and this is just a terrible trade. Oh, it doesn't even kill the spider mine. If you're a zealot, you might as well take out a spider mine with you, right? That's what I always say. Is this observer in? What the heck? Why is this turret not attacking this observer? Whoa! Something weird is happening here. Oh, it's a third nexus here now. All right, I guess that's fine. And this is very traditional. Look how old this strategy is. You run up on the Dragoons, you throw down spider mines, the spider mines activate instantly and kill the Dragoons. This has been around since since before some of you were born. That's how old that strategy is. And pretty effective too. This is little vulture stuff. I like it. So third base has to come here. That doesn't have a third gas, which totally sucks. Dude, this is blowing my mind right now. We're still... I mean, there's a couple idle SCVs here from our Terran. But it's not like they're stacking up, and the production tabs are remaining pretty consistent. Making Dragoons, tanks, vultures. This looks like a normal production tab. So I don't know. Why on earth are these observers? Why is this not... It says it's a detector. Hang on. I gotta see something. Unclick. 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 He could see it. Oh, what did that, what? Okay, that was some glitchy stuff happening there. Very weird old replay stuff, maybe. I don't know, maybe there was a glitch back then where sometimes missile turrets wouldn't see observers. I don't know. Power is not spending his money super well, but he's also up 106 to 52 supply. He's just got 62 SCVs. He's mining like crazy. He's got a bunch of turrets up over here, like he's waiting for obs to come in or maybe an arbiter to show up. And we are on kind of the path towards arbiter, but we also need to Stargate for that, which I don't really see that in play here. But we've got the second gas rolling, which is fine. Got a shuttle with some zealots in it. Maybe go for some drops that way. That would be pretty solid for sure. And suddenly that tank count, remember when it was 2 tanks? These guys, it's a little more now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 siege tanks now. And look at this again. Weird. Okay. All right. This is just weird command center positioning no matter what now. You could definitely fit a CC here. I guess unless you put a missile turret in the way. Maybe because... Maybe he's putting it here because they put a missile turret up and it's in the way of him putting it in the optimal position this time. But it's a pattern. It's a pattern at this stage is what it is. Man, these SCVs are still not working. But again, producing 4 siege tanks, command center, going for a ComSat station, additional supply depots. And same thing down here for Grrrr. Spending his money pretty well, honestly. Down around 200 minerals. It's just down big time in supply. A lot of that it's in worker count, where Grrrr only has 34 probes at this stage. Still double pumping them, but he's so behind economically. This is a pretty good trade, though. Dragoons, microing. Oh, look at that. Target firing individual. Spider mines. Really good micro here from Grrrr, but whoa! Spider mine hits! Causing problems for our boys there. Okay, maybe don't. Oh, no! 1 spider mine kills 3 Dragoons. No. Oh, it's so sad to see. Grrrr. Grrrr. Your third base is up. That's real nice. Got some High Templar out. That's nice. Storm's getting researched. Very good. Zealot's like, is there a base? Oh, there. I guess there's a base up here. There's siege tanks protecting it. Siege tanks in the mineral line, like in between these SCVs and this command center. Blocking kind of optimal pathing, but what is optimal pathing? Your command center's here, and your minerals are here. I guess he just doesn't care about optimal pathing. He's caring about getting up to 66 SCVs, producing 1,000,000 billion siege tanks with no upgrades at all. Same thing, Protoss is getting 1-1, but he doesn't have any upgrades at 14 minutes. Seems like a bit of an obstacle, if and you ask me. Okay, this might just be an instructional video on what happens if you allow Terran to get more bases than you, faster than you, as a Protoss. Like, you might have the right stuff. Dragoons, High Templar with Storm, Zealots with speed upgrade. All of this is good. But it's 156 to 91 supply. You're down 50 supply in a PV. God, the Spider Mine taking down a High Templar. That sucks. Grrrr is just kind of running into a brick wall here. He's getting out macroed. He's getting kind of unlucky with Spider Mine hits, which every Protoss player can definitely relate to. Oh my God, got a hit off too. This hurts me. It's like, are there any more of these? Come, Observer. Find some more of them. Yeah, a lot of these probes need to be transferred over somewhere else right now. Yeah, SCVs work, and he put those SCVs to work. Yeah, this isn't a broken replay. This is just normal, you know, you got to manually put your workers on minerals or gas after they're made, and just kind of, it's hard to keep track of that. But suddenly, big, scary Terran army has arrived. No upgrades, not even working on upgrades. He says tanks are so good, getting upgrades for them is not even a requirement. I don't think it's true. But in 2001, maybe it was. Now, this is the thing. You got 1-1 upgrades, right? Shields and attack. You've got High Templar. You got some speed lots. You have the right composition. Oh, he did transfer some probes. Oh, look at that. Transferring to his third base. Still crazy oversaturated down here. And kind of undersaturated on the natural. Maybe something that players are still struggling with in 2001. All right, here comes Power. And he's not even sieging his tanks. The disrespect. Okay, great storm up, but the utter disrespect of not even sieging his tanks, and Grrrr taps out. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Okay, well, whoever this Power player is, I like his macro. It's really, really good. Expands early, defends against early Dragoon pressure almost perfectly. Gets some good Spider Mine harassment. Vultures out, causing problems for the Protoss. Expanding, putting command centers in weird locations. Oh, he's got this one too. Yeah, just out macroed the ever-loving crap out of Grrrr in this game. Insane. And then he just A-moves with his tanks and doesn't even siege them up. I mean, that is disrespect. That is one of the more disrespectful things you can do in a StarCraft game, I think. So Grrrr, not immortal, it turns out. And maybe this Power dude is just an absolutely crazy, insanely good StarCraft Korean player. And it just didn't work out in the end here for Grrrr. Just like it, you know, sometimes that's how that works. So I'm going to do a quick search for Joy Pop. There's got to be something about Joy Pop here. There's a couple players on Wikipedia, Ji-hyun and Zodiac, that have Joy Pop. It looks like clan tags. But they're the only two players that have that Joy Pop tag. So maybe this is one of them. Under an alternate ID, Power. I don't know. Maybe we can figure it out. It's just so old. It's just so old. All right, great stuff then. 52,000 points from Grrrr, 83,000 from Power. Outproduced the Protoss player, 197 to 117. Brutal. Outkilled him, 65 to 38. Brutal. And lost fewer than the Protoss did. Buildings and resources. Yeah, this is what happens when the Protoss is on like 4 or 5 bases. When the Terran's at 4 or 5 bases and the Protoss is on like 3. 27,000 and 19,000 spent. The math does not work out here for Grrrr. So overall, really nicely done. Fantastic job there from the Terran player. Grrrr could use some work. I think he's definitely retired by now. But good to see these older games sometimes. That was really interesting just to kind of see some of the different strategies and tactics and how people were kind of struggling back then. So that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered, and truly remastered, as this is a 2001 match. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.